Welcome back everyone, I'm James the Tie Guy, and today we have another Black Series figure to take a look at. This is number 69 in the series, and it is the Rebel Trooper, otherwise known as the Rebel Fleet Trooper. This is one of the first Rebels that we see at the beginning of A New Hope when Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers board the Tantive 4 after it was captured over Tatooine. As you can see here by the picture on the box, this figure is modeled after one of the Rebel Troopers. It gets a little bit more time than the others, even though it's just a few seconds, as we see them lining the hallway. He looks a little bit older, I think, in the actual picture and in the movie than the figure does, but it's still a pretty good likeness. It's not quite as good as Piet or Veers, the ones that I reviewed few weeks ago, but it's still pretty good likeness, especially once he gets his helmet on. I think it looks a lot better. The box, as you can see, not being an exclusive, which might make it a little bit easier for people to find, means it's got its number here, of course. On the back of it, it has the description from Star Wars Databank about the Rebel Fleet, the Rebel Troopers, and the role that they served. And then of course over here we've got the large print with the Rebel and TR visible. Standard red packaging all around, the red backing. This is being packed in solid cases, I've read, so retailers do have the option to order those. So hopefully this guy might be a little bit easier to find than some others, because I know a lot of people are wanting to army build with them, do customization with head swaps, things like that. So hopefully he's a little bit easier to find, because with that option they can get 8 of these to a case instead of just maybe two of them or so. I think is usually the max that they come in when it's a mixed case. This one in particular was from Amazon, although it wasn't sold by the retailer. It was a third party on there, but it is appearing on other sites, and I've also seen some people find it in retail stores, just in various locations across the country. So we'll go ahead and take him out here. As you can see, he has his helmet, DL-17 blaster, and then the data card here, which is the Death Star plans. I'm guessing that they captured from Scarif. So we'll go ahead and take him out here. He's got a nice sculpt, like most of the other Black Series figures have this year, especially the human figures with the new face tech. The little Death Star plans here are quite small, so you definitely want to make sure you hang on to those, because they would be easy to lose. Although I've been thinking, after looking at it and thinking, if you were wanting to maybe make some other characters based around this, I think a nano SIM card would work really well, because this reminds me a lot of one of those. So this is the actual one that comes with him though, and it's got a little bit of basic writing on it here, as you can see. I'm not sure exactly what it translates to. And then we've got the figure, which I will set here. His blaster, standard DL-17. It's got, some nice details on it. Got the silver barrel, and then the sight up here has also got some coloring on it. He does have a holster, and it does fit in there nicely, so that I was happy to see that. His helmet is a standard, looks kind of like a ping pong ball cut in half type deal that the Rebel Fleet Troopers wore. See if we can focus in on a little bit here. Not all of the troopers had this black visor on them, but this one in particular does. It's just painted on there. It's not movable or anything. It stays in one place. This antenna, it is fixed in place, and then the chin strap as well. Now it does go on the figure pretty good. It's not as form-fitted as like General Veers or Admiral Piet's hat and Imperial cap was, but it does go on there pretty well. We'll take a look here at the facial features and the overall sculpt of the figure while we've got it here. As you can see, the Hasbro digital face tech is really benefiting this one. You can see the clear pupils and the whites of his eyes, the gray hair, tactical vest here. You could remove it if you wanted to, although you might risk tearing it, and underneath this, it's not going to look too good, so I'm not really sure why you'd want to take it off, but it is a separate piece. on there. And then as you can see here, we've got his holster over here, which the weapon, it does fit into it. So it goes down about that far before bottoming out. And then he's got his trigger hand here, and then this hand here, the grasp on it has been a little bit tightened so that he can hold on to the Death Star plans here. And he poses real well with them. You can pose the the plans with him pretty much holding them anyway. And I flipped them out, but under normal circumstances they stay just fine. I had him in quite a few different poses when I was doing the photo gallery of him the other day, and I didn't have any trouble with him dropping them. Then if we take his helmet here, when you put it on, you've got to make sure that his head goes all the way up in there, because the hair sculpt on here is kind of thick, and if it doesn't, it looks like it's sitting up a little too high on his head, which is something that happened to me when I was taking my pictures. And it was pointed out by a few viewers, and then I went back and retook a few with it put on here better, and they turned out looking better. Chin strap goes about right here. I rewatched the scene from A New Hope to see how they had it positioned, and they pretty much had it right here on their chin, about like that. So if we take his blaster out and get him fully posed with it, see what it looks like. So fully posed, that's pretty much what he's going to look like. But again, the Death Star plans here, they can be held any way you want him to, but it looks better with the helmet on, I think. It is, it's always has been kind of an interesting looking helmet, just like the Death Star Trooper. It's kind of big and unwieldy, but it's part of what makes Star Wars. So I don't really have any issues with it. I think Hasbro did as good a job on it as could be expected. If we take a look at his articulation, it's standard Black Series, which means it's really good. He's got shiny boots. I liked how they did these up, looking real nice and polished, like something you would find on a ship carrying, royalty like Princess Leia or other important Rebel figures. You got the rotation on the feet, go side to side, they go up, and then they go down like that. You've got double jointed knees, so you get quite a bit of rotation there. Pretty much go all the way up and kick himself in the rear if he wants to. And then you've got right here, you've got this piece here that moves, so you've got some thigh articulation there. Hands, elbows are single jointed, and then the hands move 360 degrees. Let's set that over here, all the way around, and then up and down, of course. And then he's got some decent ab crunch, not the great, but pretty much all that you would need for posing. And then you've got his head, which it will swivel all the way around if you want it to. And then you've got the standard up and down motion on it. His head sculpt is a little thicker, so it kind of gets in the way back here sometimes, but his head upturns pretty much as far as anyone's going to need it to, I think. Now, I did want to go ahead and bring out another figure that is pretty much this guy's counterpart, but on the Imperial level, and that's the Death Star Trooper. Because I know with a figure like this, inevitably some people are going to want to head swap and do customization, things like that. So I brought him out earlier before I started shooting the video to see if he would, what kind of options that would give you, because this is him. So when he's not on a stand, they're about the same height. If we take their helmets off, the difference is in these two is this Imperial Trooper has a really short haircut compared to the thicker one on the Rebel Trooper. So this helmet, if you were to wanting to take this head and swap it over to that body to have, a little different look, this helmet will fit this guy. It's a little bit loose because it's made for his larger head, but it does fit. Let's see if we can focus in on that there. It does fit, but it's not quite as snug as you might want it to be, but I'm sure, you know, with a little bit of modification that could be fixed, but it fits just fine on there, you know, if you were wanting to swap it out. Now, if you were wanting to do the opposite and use this guy's head on this guy's body, which I think people are going to want to do a little bit less. Let's see if we can zoom out on that. It's a lot harder to get the helmet on this guy than it is the opposite. It will go on there, but the chin strap, it takes a lot of force to get it on there. I was able to do it earlier, but you know, you might risk breaking that. Yeah, I don't really know that a lot of people are going to want to do this as much as the other swap, but there you go. It does fit. It's kind of, it leaves a little bit of the back of his head exposed there, but you know, it does work, but it doesn't fit as good as it does on the Imperial Trooper. Of course, they use the same, they have the same weapon, so they're pretty much the same, just different factions. But I wanted to go ahead and at least you know, put that out there, because I know that's something that people are, you know, going to want to do with these, especially ones that like to army build. So that is the Rebel Trooper, or as I prefer to call him, the Rebel Fleet Trooper. Not a whole lot more to say about him. He does actually go really well with the Darth Vader Centerpiece that came out, one of the first ones that was released, the Black Series Centerpiece. And I've actually got some pictures that I took, and they are on my channel's Facebook and also Flickr account. And I'll probably put a few at the end of this video so you can see. It works really well with it, especially if you were to throw in some stormtroopers. But you know, if you were wanting to build that up into a diorama, then I think that's definitely an option that you could have. So that is it. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Like I said, he should be available now from various online retailers, and available also to find in different brick and mortar type stores. If you have any other questions, let me know. I appreciate everybody watching the video, and if you like the video, make sure and subscribe and give it a thumbs up. That would help a lot. I hope everyone has a great week, and may the Force be with you.